Okay, we back. We have Tisha, which you didn't tell them your nickname was Tisha.
Yeah, I did.
You said Eletisia.
AKA Tisha.
I had to get you to do it again. Okay.
Whatever.
Okay, so I'm sorry guys, we having a good time out here. So can you let them know what ethnicity are you? Hispanic. So your mom and dad is Hispanic?
Mm-hmm. My dad's from Mexico. My mom's from Topeka, Kansas.
Okay. So what part of Mexico is your dad from?
I believe it was San Luis Potosí.
San Luis Potosí. Okay. And your mom's mom's side, which is your grandparents' side, they're from Kansas as well?
No, I believe they're from Mexico, but she really never. Her mom had already passed by the time I was born, so I don't really know too much of her side of the family. Other than her sisters and brothers, you know, there was a lot of them. I think she was the youngest.
Yeah. So what about your dad's side? Do you know anything about your grandparents on your dad's side?
No, the same thing.
Yeah.
If I can remember right, my dad's parents were like Apache, some Apache.
That's Indian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. My mom probably had that too, but I really don't know because, you know, back then we really didn't talk about it that much.
Like, was it a bad thing, like not talking about it? You just weren't allowed to ask certain things?
You know, like the older generation were more like not open, like us younger parents are now these days. Yeah. They were more like, the past is the past and they left it at that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so growing up, was it hard for you as far as like your childhood or no, kind of?
There was a lot of us, but
growing up, like you saying years like behind each other and stuff, because you said it was about 13, right?
Yeah, we were pretty much, like I said, the oldest is 65 and the youngest is 45, and we all fell in between a couple of years difference, only probably like a year or two.
So like, was it hard as far as like you know, like you guys getting things like school supplies, clothes and stuff? Is like hard on your parents and stuff growing up?
Yeah, I remember a lot of like hand-me-downs. You know, that's what happens when you have a big family, I guess.
Were you happy though, like with the hand-me-downs? You know, just happy to have something new. Yeah. Something
different, something, you know, to us it was new, but my sisters had already used it.
Yeah.
But it was alright, you know, we still managed whatever. You know, coming from a big family, it was hard on my parents. They were a lot of like migrant workers. I don't know if you know what that is. You know, they worked a lot in the fields. I think it was maybe like sugar beets, pinto beans or something.
That's what
like
your mom and dad did? Okay.
And they would pick a lot of like, we would go to like to Florida, Nebraska. They worked, I think, in the strawberries. The oranges. Yeah, they did a lot of migrant work.
Did you all like used to have to go and you said beets, like picking beets and stuff?
Not picking them, but just making sure like we got all the weeds. So that way when they would go and grow bigger, they wouldn't have a hard time picking them.
So your dad was selling?
He would haul sugar beets from the field to the big, like what you would call them, I guess.
Like a farmer's place?
Like a co-op where they would prepare them or something like that.
Manufacturing. Okay. Oh, that was cool. So, where are you located at now?
Arlington, Texas.
Okay. How far is that from Corpus?
Like 6. I think it was about 6.5 hours.
So now going from Corpus to here, do you see any difference? What do you see that's different?
Different, like different, because I didn't know the area. Corpus, you knew it from the back of your hand, I guess you would say, because I worked in transportation there, and I went to a lot of places, a lot of different places, a lot of different little towns, surrounding areas. But yeah, it's a big difference because not knowing anybody from knowing a lot of people to not knowing really hardly anybody is a big difference.
So, out of Arlington, Corpus, and Kansas, which one would you say that you like the most?
Probably Arlington.
Arlington. Why would you say that? If you don't mind me asking.
Now you're getting into the difficult questions here.
Seems as if you like
making me put my diggy cap on.
Yeah. Okay, we'll skip that for now.
No,
so,
I mean that's okay. Arlington is like, of course, home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys fan?
Yeah. A lot of nice people. It seems big to me because, I'm new to the area.
Yeah.
I guess that's the biggest difference.
So are you like a little bit familiar with the area now that you've been staying here? Like how long have you been here?
Like 7 months.
7 months?
Mhm.
Okay.
So yeah, getting familiar with it a little bit.
Yeah. So what made you go from that big transition from staying in Corpus for roughly around 30 years to moving further north of Texas, which is in Arlington?
I've always wanted like a different atmosphere. Basically, not knowing anybody, get a fresh start. Not that you try to hide anything from your past or anything like that. It's just getting a fresh start of somewhere different other than Corpus.
Yeah.
Because I basically, I guess you could say, grew up in Corpus. The remaining of like my teen years.
Yeah. So.
You snapped one of the nails.
Okay. So I gotta ask you. When you were little, and you said like, times was hard and stuff for you, and as far as school, it was, good and stuff like that. Like, you had a lot of friends and stuff, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you and your family and friends and stuff. So, like, you had any best friends or like just kind of people like outside, or was you allowed to come outside, or you stayed in the house, or how was that growing up?
Yeah. I had this best friend from like elementary up into high school, Lisa Phillips. And another one, Angie Hernandez. She was Mexican. She lived in the same town I lived in. Those were my two growing up friends. Other than all the other friends that we had, but we hung out more. Basically, when I moved away, it's like we lost contact. But then, I guess you would say reunited back, like on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And then to see them, having kids is a big, how do you say it? Like we grew up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then to see them on Facebook with their kids and their grandkids, I guess they probably would feel the same, like, how they see me,
Yeah.
with kids and grandkids.
So, if they were to see this video, what would be a message to them, or what would you tell them?
Um, um, wow. I don't know. Like, we grew up, like, to where we have families of our own. I don't know. Me and Angie would go on double dates. You remember that? It's crazy. From there to here, it's like, wow, time goes by fast. Like, you learn to appreciate where you're at and where you're from, I guess.
Seems like she missed you two guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so a little bit on touching bases on when you were young. Is there anything that, like, growing up you like wish you were taught? Like, maybe just for instance, like before stepping into the real world, or before having a child at a young age, or anything that you wish you would have been taught, or like you felt like you lacked guidance of, or something like that, because you said like previously that your parents too much didn't touch bases on certain things, or you know.
To be more open, um, with family, because we were more like, um, that's just subjects you didn't talk about, or something that didn't come up, to where, like, having your own kids, you don't want to be like that. It was not that I had it really hard, because I always had a mom who cared, always try to, like, provide for us kids. Um, Probably just learn more of, um, being more open, and more, not so shy, I guess. So I was really shy in high school.
So were you guys like real family oriented, like mother, and the sisters and brothers, everybody would come over to the house or maybe eat and stuff, like, back in the old days, or not really, or?
That I remember, um, what I can remember, um, sometimes, not all the time, you know, as they got older, because there was, me and my little brother stayed home longer with my mom longer. We lived at home longer. But, yeah, I wish we had more of that, like, more family orientated, more get-togethers, because there's a lot of us. Yeah.
Do you stay in contact with a lot of them, or?
I try to, but you know how that goes. Like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, and then you don't. But I try to stay in contact with them. I would like for it to be more, because they're a lot older than I am.
What would you say to them if they were listening?
That I love them and I miss them. Sorry.
It's okay. What would you say to your mom?
That she means everything to me. Sorry.
What would you say to a crybaby?
Let me call the ambulance.
Okay, so what would you say to your sisters?
that I admire them, you know, because they're good. They're good women, honest, um, big hearts. All of them. All of them have really, really good hearts. My brothers too. You know, they're good. They're good brothers. They're good men, fathers, and so forth. Sorry.
Okay, so are your kids staying in Texas as well?
Yeah, they're back in Corpus.
So you have any words to them?
They're my world. I love them. I would do anything for them, just like any parent, you know, would be there for them no matter what. Even they're a pain in the ass. They know deep down inside that, you know, I'd be there for them and try to support them as much as I can. Parenting is hard, you know, it doesn't come with instructions. Just like being a child is hard too, you know. You learn as you go. And I know we're never perfect. We're far from being perfect. But if I could do anything back, like if you know you would get a chance to change anything, I would just be a better parent too.
What do you mean by that, if you don't mind me asking?
Um, like not be so hard on them. If I was, you know, but I only did it because I love them. And any parent, you know, wants the best for their kids. Not to go through what you go through. You know, just be there for them, no matter what.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. You okay?
Yeah.
You need a minute?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Even if I did come out with some tears.
So, do you like as far as like down here, you know, the job wise, working down here versus this Corpus or Kansas or anything?
Mhm. Yeah, it's different. Um, being a bus operator is it's you know people might think oh it's just driving a bus how hard could that be you know but you got a lot going on in that seat you know um, just thankful to God that you know um, to make it back home the same way you came to work you know safe yeah.
Yeah.
You meet a lot of different people different ethics it's neat, you know, because if nobody's happy to see you, then passengers are happy to see you because you're gonna get them to work or wherever they're gonna go on time, hopefully.
Yeah. And when you don't get them there on time, you gotta hear it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know, it's still fun at the same time. It's stressful, but it's fun at the same time.
So how long have you been in the transportation industry?
19 years. March 15. It, I marked. It marks 19 years that I've been in transportation.
Congratulations. That's great. It's been a long time. Do you remember when you first started?
Yeah, in 2000.
Oh,
I started with LaFleur Transportation. It was a smaller company, had a contract with Medicaid. So we would transport everyone with Medicaid to doctor's appointments. It was neat. And she said, "Do you know Corpus?" I'm like, "Yeah," which I really didn't. I just knew the big streets. But if I knew I could get around the big streets, I could find the little streets, and that's how it went from there.
Took it from there.
Yeah. Sometimes I'd get lost. I'm like, where in the heck am I? But I'd find my way around because, back then we didn't have like GPS or what do you call it, maps. It was really a map.
Yeah.
City map. Yeah, I found my way around.
How long was you working there?
8 years.
8 years. Okay.
And I would also train the new drivers. So that was an experience, It was fun. I met a lot of new drivers that became friends and like family afterwards. So yeah, it was. I loved it.
So from there to the next transportation job, how long was you at the next one?
6 years. It was the Corpus Christi Transportation Authority. I also did BTW with them.
What's BTW?
Behind the wheel trainer.
Oh, okay.
And that was the same thing like with LaFleur, but of course you were in bigger buses, and you went a lot more places like Walmart, restaurants, just about everywhere they made an appointment, we would take them.
Yeah. Okay. Then you ended up from there to this transportation, or?
I ended up after there. I went to FedEx. I was with FedEx for almost 2 years, and that was just delivering packages.
Did you like it?
Yeah. But some of those packages were heavy.
I think they tell you that before you fill out the application.
Yeah,
they say, "Are you able to lift so and so amount of pounds?" And you just mark yes because you wanted that job.
I could do this. I did for a while. Believe it or not, I did. And then from there, it went to On Point, and they would transport in the refineries. So that was a big difference because you get paid every week, but it was cool.
Yeah. And that was FedEx down here, or?
In Corpus.
In Corpus?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, let me ask you, moving from Corpus to down here in Arlington, close to Fort Worth, Texas, Dallas, Texas, if you're all, wondering where is that at. It's in the middle, that exact middle of Fort Worth, Texas, downtown, and Dallas, Texas, downtown. Okay, going back from Corpus to here, you stayed in Kansas. What is some advice that you will have for newcomers moving to Texas that you can give them? Any words of inspiration or the do's and don'ts when moving to Texas?
Don't do it, it's hot. Honestly, you come across a lot of different, how would I say it? Like